Hi guys, this is Sarah from Ara Beauty and welcome back to my channel and welcome for all of you new subscribers. I am so happy that you guys have joined and I hope that you guys have liked my videos thus far. Today's video is going to be me testing out BH Cosmetics products, and if you want to see me put all this makeup on my face, then just keep on watching. I've already primed my skin using the Dr. Grant's primer. I've used that a bunch of times, so I thought I'd do that off camera, but there's nothing else on my face. The first thing that I'm going to be trying out for the BH Cosmetics is the BH Liquid Foundation Naturally Flawless. And on the side of the box says, our new and improved BH Liquid Foundation now includes hyaluronic acid to keep the skin hydrated. You know I love hyaluronic acid. Fair Golden. And this is what the bottle looks like. It's really heavy. It's kind of nice. It's like a frosted glass bottle. And it does come in a pump. Yes. So it does come in a pump. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this on my hands. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good match for my skin. So on this half of my face, I'm going to be using a brush. This is the Morphe Y7. And like I said, on this side, I'm going to be using the Beauty Sponge. Whenever I'm testing out foundations, I like to pour the foundation onto my hand. I don't like to put it directly into my face. That's what I like about a pump. So I'm just going to use 2.5 pumps here. And I'm going to start with the brush side first. Dab it. Wow. First impressions, this is going on very full coverage and it's not really matching me. The brush is applying this very streaky, so I'm kind of not living for the brush. I think I'm going to do the Beauty Blender on both sides. Yeah, the brush, if you can see, zoom in on my face, you can see that it's really streaky right in here. So yeah, I can already see the Beauty Blender is going to work out so much better. Okay guys, so this is the foundation all blended out. I used the Beauty Blender on both sides, and it's definitely not matte. It looks like pretty dewy, but the primer that I did use was an illuminating primer, so I can't really, fault it for that. I mean, it looks okay. It's not like it's not doing any more than my NYX Total Control drops or the Wet n Wild foundation that I love from the drugstore. So I'm gonna say that I believe it was like a $6 foundation, $7 foundation. So it's not bad. So it's kind of in the Maybelline Age Rewind. This is just perfect, and I use the neutralizer. I love this concealer. It never does me wrong, and I didn't pick up the BH Cosmetics concealer because I just didn't. I picked up so much other stuff that I was like, you know what, I can just skip on the concealers. I know that I love this concealer, and I also want to see how my favorite concealers apply with a new foundation. Because I don't like whenever I'm seeing a review, whenever I'm personally watching a review and I see somebody reviewing a new foundation and they're also using a new concealer, because when you're using too many new products, for me, I feel like it can get confusing between what is good and what is bad. So I kind of like to steer away from that because I want to give the foundation a fair chance. I don't want to use it with a concealer that sucks and be like, oh, the foundation and the concealer both suck. Okay, so this is the foundation applied and concealer, and I powdered with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. Like I said, for the face products, when I'm trying out a new foundation, I like to stick with products that I know work and that I know I love so that I can judge the foundation properly. Let's go ahead and go on to the next thing. So I did pick up this Its Raye Raye Palette from BH Cosmetics, and it comes in this little thing. I did swatch these already because I did want to see what the shades look like. It comes with 21 eyeshadows, a highlighter, and contour palette as well. So it opens up like this small little book. And these are kind of what you get here. So you do get like a nice array of neutrals, and then you get this whole bottom row that's full of shimmers. It does come with a black. This is actually a really good palette, depends on how well the eyeshadows work, but I would say this is a pretty good palette in my opinion. The second palette that I do have from BH Cosmetics, now this palette I did put on my Instagram. I have loved this palette. Like, this palette has pretty much can do no wrong for me. It's the Desert Oasis palette. It does come with a little sleeve like this, and it comes in this nice metallic shiny covering, and when you open it up you see all of these amazing metallic eyeshadows. This was $20, and can I say it is well worth it. You know what, I'm just going to swatch a few of them. I'm going to swatch, the first one that I'm going to swatch for you is called Moonscape. These shadows, it's unreal. Do you see that? That's like one swipe. I'm not even pushing hard. Let's go in with the next one just for fun. I'll do a shade called Terrain. It's a nice gold shimmery shade. I mean, just look at these. That was a terrible swatch, but just look at these eyeshadows. They're absolutely beautiful. There's also this really beautiful blue. It's called Hot Spring. Just look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So for right now, this has to be one of like my top eyeshadow palettes that are really inexpensive right now. So let's go and get into the eyeshadow. I've talked too much now. I'm gonna go in with an e.l.f. concealer brush. This is kind of what I use for my base shadows. I switch between this one and this one, which we all know this is my favorites video, but it's a little dirty, so I'm gonna use the e.l.f. one. I do interchange them quite often. And I'm gonna go into the shade Sand, which is right here. And it's just really nicely pigmented. And I just take that all over the lid. I'm going to do a nice, pretty easy look here and set any concealer that I have on my lids, especially if I'm not doing a super duper glam look and I don't want it to stay all day long. I don't use an eyeshadow primer. I think I've already mentioned that before in the past. The next shade that I'm going to go in with, I'm going to take a Morphe M504. It's a very fat, tapered, pointed blending brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Cannon right here, and I'm just going to tap into my brush, and I'm going to just kind of like go into my crease with this shade. This brush is perfect for applying shades into the crease, and I kind of just like do this windshield wiper motion and kind of just define my crease, and I go a little bit high onto my orbital bone open. You see how that kind of just contours my eye very nicely? I really like it. It works. So I'm going to go into Sandstone with that same brush. At this point, the brush has no other pigment on it, and you can see this palette has some pigment. So I'm going to definitely just use this shade to kind of define my crease just a little bit more, and then we'll put some glitters on there. I tilt my head back a little bit so I can see where the hollows of my crease is. And then I just take that brush, and it's pointed, so it really goes into that socket really nicely. And I'm not going high with this one, I'm just going a little bit lower, just creating a little bit of definition right there at my crease. I think I'm going to go into the shade Tiffany, which looks similar to Sandstone, and I want to see what the difference is on this eyeshadow palette. And it looks a lot more pigmented than the Oasis palette. Just going on the brush, hopefully it applies to the eye the same way, but sometimes even if a shadow is very pigmented, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't mean that it's going to blend good on the eye. So again, I'm just going to kind of go a little bit lower, and I'm going to drag this down on the edge of my eye, and I'm really going to emphasize that outer edge of my eye, and I'm just swirling in circular motions to get that color, and then sweeping it towards the inner part. I like that shade. It's much different than Sandstone, a little bit warmer, much more pigmented. I think I want to try some of the shimmers in here because I feel like I neglected this palette a little bit in the beginning. I'm going to swatch a few of these on my hand, some of the shimmery shades, so that we can get a good idea. This first shade right here is Allison in the palette, so we'll just go ahead right here. And that's Allison, and this one is Tiffany. Beautiful swatches I just did. So I think we're gonna go in with Tiffany, because that looks a little bit more on the coppery golden eyeshadow look. And I'm gonna take it on a brush. I didn't wet my sponge or anything. Look at this eyeshadow. Oh my god, and that's with a brush. This brush is not wet, so don't try me. Don't like try to say I wet my brush, because I didn't. So on this side, I'm going to do my finger. See how it comes onto your finger? Oh, wow. Okay, so these palettes have pigment. Okay, so we're not going to lie here. These are very inexpensive palettes, and they really do pack a punch. And I'm gonna just kind of go more in with a brush to detail this one out. Wow, that looks absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna take my finger a little bit more on this eye to kind of brighten it up like how my other eye is. Now I'm going to go in with a Y18 brush, which is like a little flat kind of shader brush, and I'm going to go back into Sunset. I'm going to go into Sunset, and I'm also going to go into Spice just a little bit to make it like slightly lighter, and I'm going to kind of go back over the top and define the edge here of my crease where that glitter and my crease meet, because I don't want it to look like I just have a bunch of glitter in my crease. And then I'm going to go in with my Y20 brush, which is like more of a detailer brush so that I can hit the inner corner. And I think with the inner corner, I'm going to go in with Mineral. I've been using this shade a whole bunch as inner corner highlight, and I really love it. Going onto that inner corner. I mean, that is bright. A bit deeper of a color because that's a little bit too bright for me. I want to tone it down a bit. Now, there's a highlighter shade that's called Hideaway, and that does look a little bit deeper. So I think I'm going to go in that realm and just go right over the top of it to kind of neutralize that down. See how that kind of took the brightness, took it down? Yeah. I'm going to take an e.l.f. brush. I think this is the eye crease brush, but for me, this is not a crease brush whatsoever. And I'm going to go in with the shade like I did, but in backwards formation. I'm going to go in with Canon first. I'm going to hit that lower lash line, kind of smoke it out. I like to hold my mirror up whenever I'm not filming. I like to do this because then my eye is looking a little bit more up, so if I accidentally hit my eye, my eye is not going to start completely watering. I'm going to take a Morphe 421 brush, and I'm going to go into Hot Spring, which is that vibrant blue that I had showed you guys, which is right here. Look at it on the brush. It's crazy. And I'm just going to put that on my lower lid, and I'm going to drag it in just a little bit. Oh, that is such a beautiful shade. The way it applies on the lid, it's just... I'm going to go in with the Morphe Y20, and I'm going to kind of blend this out with Dune, which is the brown shade of the Oasis palette, through swatches with you guys. At the very end, center, we might kind of try to amp up the volume here and go in with that Hideaway highlighter shade, and just kind of right here on the bottom, just, you know, make it a little bit more bright, and that did brighten it up a lot. Right here in the middle, kind of spotlight it out. Using this palette, that's kind of why I wasn't really trying to go in for the eyeshadows. I know I'm definitely going to play with this a little bit more, and I'll let you guys know how it goes, but I really wanted to kind of feature that Oasis palette because it has been knocking my socks off. So I think that for the face, I'm going to go in with a Y10 brush. It's a smaller little brush, and I think I'm going to go in with Mocha. And it looks very pigmented. So we're just gonna kind of put this right in our bronzer contour areas. It's applying super patchy, where it's like, it's not applying very smoothly, this bronzer. And I've powdered my whole face, so it's not like me. Sometimes I forget to powder my face before I go in with bronzer or blush, but this time I did. And then this time, go over here. I'm just going in with just a little bit less, see if that helps. And I like to find my bronzer area. Yeah, it's applying a little patchy for me. I like to use the Morphe Y2 brush. It's a nice little, like, thinned out but yet dense, and it's just perfectly for me. It gets right in my bronzer area, and I'm going to go back in with that Mocha shade. and it's a little bit just flat for me. I don't know, guys. So I'm just gonna go in with that brush, take a little bit, and really I'm really gonna chisel. Yeah, guys, it's really patchy right here. I'm not feeling this bronzer set as a face set, but the eyeshadows were really next. I'm going to be using a blush from BH Cosmetics, and this is the BH Floral Blush Duo Cheek Color, and this is in the shade Caribbean Coral. It's very coral and peachy, and I really like the shades. Hopefully they go with this little face look right now. I think that it might be a little bit bright, but we're going to test it out anyway. I'm going to go in with my blush brush. I'm using the letters are marked off of it. But I'm just swirling my brush in here, picking up some pigment, and it is a super pigmented blush, so we are going to knock off a lot of that excess there, and then so when I'm applying blush, I like to apply it right on my apples, and then once I apply it onto my apples, then on both apples, then I like to go in and kind of like blend it back into my bronzer in with highlight. I'm using the A23 Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. This is the highlighting brush that I extremely love. So I'm going to go into the shade Mirage. So I think that this is really going to tie in my look right here. This is the shade Mirage, and I'm just going to dip into, just look at the pigment that are on these highlighters. These highlighters have blown my mind. Just a subtle highlight. Yeah, right. That is not a subtle highlight. Do you guys see that? Like, even in person, these are just extremely blinding. The reason I went down on my blush is because at the end, I like to go back in with blush and kind of, you know, any places that my face doesn't look balanced, go down the nose with this. Do you see that beacon of light on the tip of my nose right now? And then over my Cupid's bow. Okay. Chin. Don't want to forget your chin highlight. So now that my face is completely highlighted, face spray, I'm going to use the Fresh Vitamin Nectar Mist. I really like the mister on here. I thought at first it was going to be aerosol, but it was not aerosol. It's just a perfect mist. Okay guys, so I went and put on some Lash Paradise, and also for my lips, I put on a Milani matte liquid lipstick and a flower lipstick in Peachy Nude and Nude Cream. So that's what I have on my lips in case you guys were wondering. Let's talk about this foundation. I really like the packaging. I think the packaging is very nice. It feels very luxe. It feels more expensive than it actually was. And I really like that whenever I'm you know, getting a foundation. One thing I don't like about the Wet n Wild foundation is that it has a paddle. This one comes with a nice little pump. It almost looks just like the Milani Conceal and Perfect pump. Pretty much probably the same product, but I actually didn't mind the foundation. I have to wear it a few times. So that is that. This Desert Oasis palette, I truly love this palette, and I really think that you guys should give it a look and check it out. I am going to go through some swatches with you guys. In the Desert Oasis palette, you get Moonscape, Quartz, which is a nice like pinky color. Then you get Terrain, more of a golden color. Then you get Mineral, which is a lighter pink. That's the one that was really icy in my inner corner. I'm not wetting my fingers. These are just how amazing these shadows are. Then you also get Prickly Pear, which is a nice green undertone. And then this one is called Cactus, which is a much more of a duochrome. These both are duochrome green brown shifts, but this one has a lot more green in it, and I really like that. Next, we have a shade called Turquoise, which is that light blue. Then you have the shade Hot Spring, I don't even have any more space here. Look at that blue. Look at that blue. Okay, I'm not going to swatch the matte shades, but I will swatch the highlights in here because they're blinding. I'm going to wait for this arm to kind of dry off a little bit, or I'll go on the front. Serenity. Look at that highlighter. Look at that highlighter. Now down here I have a little, then you have the yellowy highlight called Bliss. Just look at that highlighter. It's amazing. Then you have Mirage, which looks like this right next to it. I mean, just look at that highlighter. It's amazing. Yeah. Which this is going to be beautiful on darker complexions, like beautiful. Look at this. Look at this highlighter shade. That's the front of my arm. That's with my hair and everything that's on the front of my arm. Look at that highlighter shade. The Lash shade is called Hideaway. Now this is like a deep rose gold. It's absolutely gorgeous. I even put this on my eyes today. And look at this rose gold shade. I mean, there is a highlighter for everyone in this palette. There is something for everyone in this palette. And if you like glitter and you like glam and glitz and glamour and you want to glam up your eyes and you want something very, very bright at a very affordable price, I mean, these can compete with some very, very expensive eyeshadows. So I am super impressed with the eyeshadow palettes, both of them, this one and the other one. Now, it was definitely a collaboration. It's the Raya, I think it's the Raya, it's my Raya palette. Now, the eyeshadows in here are really beautiful. They kind of, you know, compete with the other palette that I just reviewed, but these contour shades here, I did not like the way they applied on my face. I'm gonna have to try them out a few more times and maybe I'll change my mind, but they really did apply very blotchy on my skin, so I don't really recommend that. And then the Floral Coral Blush, I really thought this was really gorgeous. I like the shades. They have a couple of other shades, and very inexpensive also, like $5 for the blush. So I really think that these are very good deals. So this is the end of the video, you guys. I hope you really like the look. I was really impressed with a lot of the stuff that I reviewed today, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So if you did, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to let your friends know. I upload about 2 times a week, and we're pretty fun around here. So, and I'm all my new subscribers. It's great to see that, you know, people are enjoying my channel, and I really thank you guys for the support. Congratulations to my winner of my giveaway. She was a really nice single mom, and I know she's going to get a lot of joy out of the products that I sent her. So my next giveaway, I think, probably will be for when we hit 2,000 subscribers, and I'm going to do a really nice giveaway. And I think for my next giveaway, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. But I think for my next giveaway, I'm going to do more of like a women's uplifting kind of giveaway, and I'll probably have something where, you know, you guys tell me what woman has inspired you, who is a strong woman that's in your life, and whoever's story that I like best will probably be my winner. So I am stocking up on people. So I have rambled on enough. I will see you guys in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.